I'm Malcom Reed. Today I'm going to show you how I do sweet and sticky riblets. Now I found these riblets at my local Kroger. Never cooked them before, but what they are is like cross-cut pieces of pork loin ribs. If you think of beef flanking ribs, the way they cut them across the bone, it's exactly what they did with these pork ribs. First thing we're going to do to them is get some seasoning on them. There's no trimming or anything you got to do. And I'm going to get some kosher salt on them. Just a little dose of salt to give us some savory, just get those flavors woke up. And on top of that salt, today I'm using Butcher's Honey Rub. I'm going for a sweet, a sticky riblet. You could use whatever rub you want, but I really think this honey is going to play a good part in the rub to give us that initial burst of sweetness. You don't have to go super crazy with it. And I want this to sweat in. I want them to kind of dry marinate in it while I fire up the pit. And today I'm using my Gateway drum. I'm starting with some Royal Oak lump charcoal down in the fire basket. Got the exhaust vents wide open, got the top wide open. Gonna put a couple tumbleweed fire starters in there and get the fire going. We're just gonna put them right on the rack on the drum. And you could use any pit for this cook. As long as you're running about 250, 275, pretty much just like cooking ribs. That looks good to me. Now all we got to do is get some smoke on them. I'm going to close the lid. These riblets are looking really good. Check them out. I mean, we've got color on both sides now. They're sizzling. It's time to pan them up and get them tender. They've been on about a total of an hour and a half. Let's go over to the cutting board and make these things happy. So I've got a stick of butter that I cut up into just little pats. And I'm just going to spread them around these riblets in the pan. On top of the butter, got about half a cup of brown sugar. This is light brown sugar. Just spreading it around. We got to put that honey on them for the money. This is going to make them sticky. It's going to make them sweet. I'm going to hit them with some sauce, and I'm using my vinegar sauce straight out of the bottle. You can use whatever you want. If you got a favorite barbecue sauce here, just add it to the pan. We're going right back on the drum about an hour. So I've had these riblets on about 45. I decided to check them a little bit early because I've never cooked these before. I don't want to get them just falling apart, but they are about there. I can kind of mash through a little bit on that one. Maybe 10, 15 more minutes, that hour mark. I'm gonna call them, so I'm gonna put the lid back on, close the lid down, and let them run just another 15 minutes. And I'm gonna lay them right on the grate. Some of the bones might try to pop out on me, but that makes me happy, I don't care. That's looking good. We're starting to see that caramelization on them, that sticky sauce just bubbling away. Gorgeous. Got some color on both sides, check that out. But it's a perfect little bite of riblet. Juicy, sticky, tender. The bone's there because meat on the bone's good. It's giving it all that flavor. And these are going to make some great appetizers. Pick me out a good one here. Bones.